9 young men. It's all salt and sweet peas. Like bastards drinking milk out of Mondays. Laying into some amusement, fainted, bruised and unexcused. Let go someone stood there, sweet, 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 terror me. Rotten soul, you're out of control. Bring her back and hold her back. It's all salt and sweet peas. Like bastards hanging up in the 3rd grade. Run faster, faster, run into tears, run faster, faster, stop, fall down and like the faster, faster, run into tears, run faster, faster.
That's the good news.
Bring on the shame, bring on the shame.
Ice cold, used eco-friendly light bulbs. Bicycle to work when the gasoline price rose. Eat judge with no pretense, fish on the weekends. Each morning get up, do the pledge of religion. Never swim in the ocean for fear of shark attacks. Buy more to get his wife a rose with a cord attached. Avoiding all the little things that were off your ass. Had a car crash, cardiac arrest out of a heart attack. Open escalator, all his friends and neighbors huddled there in prayer around the respirator. Catch you later, I'm off to see the man upstairs. They all look like ants from here. Stars and crystal chandeliers. There was an angel at the entrance, checking off a guest list. Charlie wasn't on it and was ushered to the exits. His heart sank. Excuse me, sir, there must be someone you've confused me for. If I could see someone who knew me or someone in uniform. I go to church on Sunday, truly usually more. Screaming at the angels while they pushed him through the door. Excuse me, sir, there must be someone you've confused me for. If I could see someone who knew me or someone in uniform. I go to church on Sunday, truly One day you will have to stop and find out what they want. Keep on running from those demons till you are exhausted. You could run to those angels till you are exhausted. One day you will have to stop and question what they want. Keep on running to those angels till you are exhausted. Excuse me, sir, there must be someone you've confused me for. If I could see someone who knew me or someone in uniform, I really don't belong here. I know you've heard the tune before. Excuse me, sir, there must be someone you've confused me for. If I could see someone who knew me or someone in uniform, I really don't belong here. I know you've heard the tune before. Everything and Christmas July.